Honestly, when I see videos like this, I'm honestly not shocked because with every single thing that Black Americans have literally been through, do you think that this awakening that is happening in the community is a wrong awakening? Is it really a wrong one? Is it not deserved? Anyways, a lot of white folks are actually, some of them are actually in doubt. Some of them are saying, where did this one actually start from? How did this start from? Where is it going to? But we are going to explore all of that in this particular video, because at the end of the day, this is what is actually expected. And this is why I always keep telling a lot of people, in fact, you need to start pushing out more awareness. Like, you need to start making people to understand more things that has literally been happening in the Black community. Like, it is in 2026, it is no longer going to be, we are just going to do it to suit their narrative or to please their narrative. We are going to do it because we wonder what to know. Yes, a lot of people might come to my comment section and be like, people already know. It's a lie. People do not know. Because if I can watch a video, I think I did a particular video before you watch this one. If I can watch a clip where a Black American person was even doubting for the fact that they have a culture, that means a lot of things still have to be reset in 2026. But anyways, I feel like this year is going to be a good year for us, right? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And yes, if you have not subscribed, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share. And I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you supporting, liking, dropping commentaries, joining my membership, and also super thanksing me. I really appreciate. I do not take you guys for granted. With that being said, let's get right into this video, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's go watch, guys.
The awakening that's happening right now with the Black Americans waking up to that they are indigenous to this land is not happening by mistake, y'all. This is all the Most High's doing, bro. The Most High, Yahweh, Yahuwah, whatever you call him by, that is our God. He said that he will wake his people up. He's waking us up to who we are. But sadly, a lot of y'all still not seeing that we have to come back to him. We have to come back to our Father. We have to come back to the commandments. The commandments. That's how we ended up here in the first place, active in our own land. That's how we became slaves on our own land, because we did not follow the commandments. Well, not us, but our ancestors. They didn't follow the commandments, and we are walking after what they was doing, and paganism and all this satanic stuff. We really need to tap back in and come back to our God Yahweh. And I know a lot of y'all like to say, oh, religion was created by the white man. Why do you think they created religion? Why do you think they took texts out of the Bible and gave us a certain Bible to control us with? Why do you think they did all this so we don't remember who we are? If you do that for generations and generations, you are going to forget who the fuck you are. Your God is Jesus. That's European God. Our God is Yeshua, Yahushai. Whatever name, Yeshua, Yahushai, that is our God. That is our Savior. That white image that they always posting up in the Catholic churches and Christian churches and stuff, that is not Yahushai. That is Caesar Borgia, whatever his name is. That's not our Savior. But seriously, we need to come back to the Father so he can help us. He's not going to help us if we're continuing to stand and celebrate these pagan holidays, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is really like a slap in the face. Like, they told us that the Indians were the $5 Indians. They were killing and raping us, our people. Yeah. So us still celebrating these holidays, especially if you're already awakened to the truth and you know the dark side to these histories and you still celebrate it, the Most High does not like it. The Most High does not like these wicked holidays. We just need to come back to who we are, who we truly are as a people. We are Hebrews. We are Hebrews. Yeah, you can be indigenous to this land, but we are Hebrew by blood.
Let me tell you something. When we talk about equality in this country, we have to start by acknowledging one simple truth. White America has had a 400-year head start. While our ancestors were enslaved, building this nation brick by brick, white families were being handed the foundation of generational wealth on silver platters labeled policy. They love to talk about how they worked hard, but let's keep it real. From the Homestead Act of 1862, over 270 million acres of land were given to white families. That's the size of California and Texas combined. Those free acres turned into wealth, farms, homes, families, legacies, but we're still fighting to be seen as human. Then came the GI Bill after World War II. Education, housing, and business loans for returning soldiers, but black veterans, most were denied. Banks, universities, and neighborhoods shut their doors. Then came the FHA loans, the biggest wealth transfer in American history, but we were redlined right out of it. They built suburbs, we got segregation. And when we did build, we built beautifully. We built Tulsa, Rosewood, Seneca Village, Black Bottom, and hundreds of thriving communities across the nation. But what happened? Arson, bombings, highways driven straight through our neighborhoods in the name of urban renewal. They turned our prosperity into parking lots, flooded our communities with guns and drugs, using red lines as trap lines. They called it progress, we call it theft. But here's the thing, we still here. We still building, still innovating, still rising. Even with every obstacle, who became the most educated demographic in America? Black women. And yet, 300,000 of us just lost our jobs this year. They see our brilliance and they feel power slipping because mediocrity has always been subsidized by our exclusion. They've had 400 years of advantage. And now that we're leveling the playing field, they're terrified. So they rewrite policies. They ban DEI, they erase Black history, and they try to shut the door we already kicked open. But this is not the end, y'all. This is the beginning. We are at the age of the Great Awakening. We're not asking for seats at their tables anymore. We are building our own houses. We're investing, collaborating, and circulating the Black dollar like never before. We're owning land, launching businesses, teaching our own children wealth, and rewriting the narrative. Because while they've had a 400-year head start, we've got 400 years of resilience running through our veins. And baby, that's something money cannot buy. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear this Black History gem.
I be having to remind my little brother that he's Black. Not that he forget he Black, because he definitely like a Black boy. But I remember what it felt like before I fully grasped what it meant to be Black in America. Because I remember when I was in middle school, I went to the mall like I always do. Mind you, this mall always getting hit up with robberies and shit. And as soon as I walk in the mall, these police officers question me and ask me, where am I going? I tell them I don't know. Mind you, I'm like 11 or 12. Because I don't know, I just got into the mall. They thought I was getting smart, and I wasn't. And they said, what store are you going to? I don't know. I just got here. Mind you, I see some white teens walk clean past us, and I'm looking at them, and I was like, well, what about them? They said, worry about yourself. So I'm double confused. And I got my younger siblings with me. They think I'm getting smart. They asked me, do I want to go in cuffs? He already put out the cuffs, holding them up, trying to throw me, do I want to go in cuffs for getting smart, having attitude. I'm so confused because I'm like, what the fuck? I just got here. But luckily, by the grace, they got a call and they had to run off because, like I said, it was a robbery that had just fucking happened in the mall, that same fucking store, by the way. After that shit happened, bro, I just turned around and called my grandmother and told her to come pick us back up. That was the first time I ever had like a racial profiling happen like that. Because I'm like, what the fuck was that even about? And then I shit y'all not, that same month, Trayvon Martin was killed. And that completely awakened me to being Black in motherfucking America. And everybody else who was my age and my school, I remember it was a whole thing where, and we were middle schoolers, the whole school decided to wear black in support of Trayvon Martin. I remember that shit like it was yesterday when Trayvon got killed. We couldn't believe that it was a debate going on about what he did. What the fuck? We're like, he didn't do anything. Why is Zimmerman getting off? Why is Zimmerman not in cuffs? Why is Zimmerman like, we're confused at, bro. And I think it's a lot of other people in my generation too, who 98 babies. I don't know about anybody else, but 98 babies. We remember that like it was yesterday. A lot of us, that was our first time really being awakened to what it is for us. I never knew, none of us never knew it was like that. Mind you, some of us probably did have the talk and shit like that, but we didn't fully grasp it until that situation happened. And I thought about the mall situation, was like, I got racially profiled. what the fuck? And I literally wasn't even all the way in the fucking mall, and they came up to me questioning me and then trying to cuff me. And my siblings are younger than me, right? They were about to cry and shit because they thought I was gonna go to jail. You know, younger siblings are dramatic, but whatever. They was about to start crying, thinking I'm about to get arrested. Me, I'm genuinely confused, and I don't back down for shit. I'm just like, I'm not doing anything. The fuck you mean you finna put me in cuffs for attitude? And in my head, I'm thinking they can put me in cuffs for attitude. I don't know the fucking law. I'm literally a late middle schooler. But I'm just thinking like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I always had that mindset of, if I'm not doing anything wrong. But quickly, I got, what's the term? It's not awakened. It's not hip. I'm gonna just say hip. I got hip to the fact that it doesn't matter if I'm not doing anything wrong. They would still target you and still treat you like complete, utter shit. No matter how young you are, they don't care. Like, and that's a lot of shit that Caucasians will never ever go through in their entire life. And honestly, I won't say I hate y'all for it, but I severely don't like y'all for it. That y'all would never know what that feel like. That, and y'all would never know what that feel like, and y'all still bitch and moan. That's what really gets me. Y'all don't know what true suffering is. Not even, y'all don't even know what it slightly is in this fucking country. And y'all still bitch and moan about everything. About how stuff is not fair. Like, I don't even want to get into detail about all the shit that y'all think is not fair. And if y'all want something changed in America, it does get changed. Like, this whole dog situation, where they allowing dogs everywhere, it's because of white people. Because y'all don't want to go nowhere about your fucking shitwater ass animals. Damn. You don't need your dog at the grocery store. And if you do, I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't be going to the grocery store. Fucking Uber Eats I don't know. Do something. But a pet in a grocery store is just fucking crazy. Pets are allowed every fucking where now. Because of white people. Literally, when they want some shit changed, shit get changed every single time. Even the whole gender restroom things. Not that I have a problem with that. I'm no shape, form, way saying I have a problem with that. I'm saying that shit didn't really get changed until the white gays start applying pressure on it, saying like, oh, I want to be able to, and shit got changed. I can't even remember what that fucking white dude TV show is who got canceled. Him. They wanted that funky ass TV show back, and it came back within, was it a couple days? Was it a week? It was less than a month. I think it was a week. I think it was less than a week. His show came back on.
You know exactly who this is.
Y'all can't even boycott things that would help humanity, and y'all boycotted for a TV show and got it back. Like, there's so much privilege y'all have that y'all just and y'all just bitch and moan. I've never seen I'm sick. I've never seen a group of people have so much fucking privilege and be seen as the pinnacle of human beings and still bitch and moan as if they're the lowest tier. It honestly does angers me. So that's not the only reason why I don't like y'all. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably could make a long ass video on why I don't like y'all, but I'm just not gonna do that. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, I have to remind my brother certain things he can and cannot do, because I remember being that age and nobody really told me. We were raised by our grandparents. Our grandparents really didn't, they did a great job raising us, but they didn't really tell us like, break it down, like, you know, you can't be because you're black. They never really taught us any of that. So yeah, I try to remind him as much as I can until it clicks in his head. And I'm hoping nothing has to happen like it did for me for it to click in his head, because nobody told me. So that's why I make it my mission to tell him, or tell either of my other siblings, like, you know, you have to be a little bit more mindful than your peers, especially one of my siblings. She has so many white friends. Oh my God. I'm like, you know, just remain mindful, you know. I know you hang around them a lot, but I need you to be mindful of what you're doing. You cannot do the same things they're doing. You can't do nearly as the same crazy ass things they're doing. They will get off. You will not. Do not find yourself in a fucked up predicament with these damn people, and they will throw you under the bus. So, and she's only like that because she's with her dad right now, and he got her in a white area, so she just around hella white people. That's why. But
y'all, there is a lot of awakenings happening right now in the U.S., and one of them is Black Americans starting to really see that we have been in this country way before slavery. It is getting to a point now where I have seen multiple videos on TikTok of Black Americans going toe for toe with Africans, and I've seen a lot of disrespect coming from the Africans, yo. A lot. And I know it's not all of y'all. I know that. But I want to bring this to a lot of people's attention that in the 70s was a big moment. Something that came that made all Black Americans think we were connected to Africa. And that was the movie Roots. Yep. Remember Kunta Kinte? Yes. Yes. See, the writer of that, well, series, right, was Alex Haley. Alex Haley was then sued by another white author and lost. He got sued for plagiarizing someone else's work and book by the name of Harold Colander. He lost and had to pay $600,000, y'all, in 1978. That was a lot of money. He also lied and said that Kunta Kinte was his direct lineage. And researchers came and found out that was also false. It was also brought up that the whole Roots miniseries was fictional and made up. After he had been tricked all these Black Americans into thinking we were connected to Africa. Another movie they tried to do that with was Black Panther. Right before the first Black Panther dropped, they were marketing Ancestry.com and 23andMe. They were marketing that stuff heavy, trying to show Black people that we were somehow tied to Africa. And if they say in science that all of the continents were together at one point, that means all of us will be connected to Africa. White, Black, Asian, everybody. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm liking the awakening I'm seeing right now. This definitely ties into some of my content that I do on political history. And y'all know I've been dropping some videos about Black slave owners. And guess what? A few of those very first Black slave owners were not born in the United States. They were brought over here from Africa to be indentured servants. And they turned into slave owners. We're going to jump into that, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Talk to y'all.
Okay, this is a random thought while I'm deep conditioning my hair, but I really can't stand when people say not to be the too woke friend because, like, don't let white people redefine reality. Woke means to be aware of other people's suffering. That's what it means. Don't let white people change reality. Same thing with Black fatigue. Like, I didn't know, you know what's so horrible? I didn't know that Black fatigue meant Black people's exhaustion dealing with systemic racism and white supremacy on a day-to-day basis. That's what Black fatigue meant. That's a term that was coined by a Black woman in the 90s. And there's a book about it that I'm reading right now. It's really good. But the first time I heard it was not in the correct definition of it. The first time I heard it was when a bunch of white people online were trying to redefine reality once frickin' again and say Black fatigue anytime a Black person was very validly talking about their racial trauma and experiences with white supremacy in the world. So to hear them tell it, Black fatigue is just being sick of Black people wanting to be treated like humans and talking about it. Or just Black people existing, period. But Black fatigue actually means, in reality, it is Black people's exhaustion living in a white supremacist society. So if we could just stop saying not to be too woke, because again, being woke is not, why would you not want to be aware? Why would you want to be too aware of other people's suffering? That's weird. And then also, can we please stop, like, oh my God, can we please stop validating people thinking that Black fatigue means being sick of Black people? It does not mean that. I do not want to keep seeing people allowing white people to redefine reality. Black fatigue is Black people being tired of white supremacy. Being woke is caring and having empathy for others.
of Black Americans are remembering. And remembering does not involve books. It's not something that you learned in school. Remembering is like an ancestral knowing. It's just a feeling that you know who you are. And I think that's what a lot of people are seeing now in this year 2025, with Black people delineating, with a lot of Black people remembering that their grandma used to call them Indian, Cherokee, Blackfoot, whatever. I think that the remembering will be one of the ways that Black Americans no longer support white supremacy and the tenets of white supremacy, one of which is the worship of the written word, and the fact that we don't need facts and stats and documentation to tell us who we are. When you know who you are, you know who you are. And I don't care what anyone says. I remember. And I think that waking up is not learning from books. I think when you wake up, you remember. You just remember you were asleep. And I think that's what they're trying to stop. And I think that Black Americans are doing that now. And no matter what people say, that is what we're going to continue to do. And I know that, you know, we're going to get laughed at, we're going to get all these things, but I think remembering is the final phase, is the final step. And I see my people doing it now, and it makes me excited.
This is Babylon, ancient Egypt, Rome, Sodom and Gomorrah, and Nineveh multiplied by 1,000, all existing in one geographical location. It's a 2,000 by 3,000 square mile hell. That's what America is. America is Satan's headquarters. This is where the evil is rooted at and where it's spread all over the world. So, you know, we gotta come out. We hostages right now. We got to come on out of this thing. As the scripture says, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins and her plagues. So as long as we stay among them and we participate and do the evil that they are tempting us to do, we're going to get the judgment that they're going to receive. That's why the minister is who he is. He's God's man raised to try to warn us and say, look, come on out of her, my people. We so messed up, though, that as Pharaoh yesterday with Moses went to Pharaoh and said, Pharaoh, let my people go. We're so messed up that the minister has to come to Black people and say, look, my people, let Pharaoh go. He don't even have us no more. We got him. We got a bad Stockholm syndrome or battered woman syndrome. We got plantation psychosis.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, that's what they called it.
Y'all know what I'm so happy about right now. Just looking down TikTok, looking all around TikTok, and I see that Black America has finally awakened to the fact that the Democrat Party, let me say it this way, that Black America has reawakened to the fact that the Democratic Party is essentially the plantation. Our pigmentation no longer is determining that Black vote, and it's so good to see younger generations catching on to this on their own. I'm so glad to see people educating themselves before they go to vote, and they're looking back at things historically. Man, this is so amazing to me. And just so we're clear here, y'all see that sign in that yard? I ain't never had no Kamala sign. She don't represent me. I'm not with her.
So I've been pretty open about the fact that I was a flaming liberal just a few years ago. Many people have asked me, how did I go from being such a devout liberal to speaking with such conviction about being a part of the Republican Party now? And I realized that a Black Republican feels very much like an oxymoron. And a big part of it was I researched history. And I want to give you guys a quick history lesson of literally the history that made me a Republican. And I'm going to make it short and sweet so that it's not boring, but it's important, and it's something that is easy to share with your friends when you're having conversations about this. So I wrote down notes so that I could make it clear. Before the 1930s, Black America had no choice but to rely on ourselves, right? We thrived. We had schools, banks, businesses, our families were strong, our churches were strong, communities like Black Wall Street were real and vibrant, literally a dream come true, right, for the Black community. But then the Great Depression comes, and Roosevelt rolls out the New Deal and says, don't worry, the government will help you. The government will take care of you. Those are not ever good words, by the way. This is when it happened, and this is a huge turning point and not a good one for the Black community. It's when the shackles that our ancestors fought so hard to get taken off were quietly slipped back on, but in the name of dependency, right? So here's the truth that nobody wants to talk about. The parties didn't switch. The parties didn't switch. We did, right? The Republican Party was the party that ended slavery, that passed literally every major civil rights bill. They didn't suddenly become the enemy. We walked away. We switched our votes and our loyalty to the party that promised us handouts, right? By the 1960s, the Great Society blew the welfare state wide open. And all of those programs, you guys, they punished marriage. They rewarded dependency. They literally paid you more if there was no man in your house, right? That's not good. And Charlie Kirk talked about that a lot. So many Black women decided to make the most logical choice and marry the government. They replaced husbands with a monthly check. The system knew exactly what it was doing. And the result was, back in 1960, when my mother was born, only 22% of Black kids were born to single mothers. And today, it's over 65% born to single mothers. Generational wealth is flat. Business ownership has not really grown. And despite trillions spent on fighting poverty, poverty is still where it was. We hand that party, the Democrat Party, 90% of our vote. And what do we get? They didn't earn it. They never earned it. And they just say, if you don't vote for us, you ain't Black. Because look at what we've done for you. Look at everything we've done for you. Instead of fighting back, we say, we'll do. You guys, we traded Booker T. Washington for food stamps. We traded Black Wall Street for Section 8. We stopped measuring success by what we build as a community and started measuring it by what we're given. That's not progress. That is dependency until we face the truth, which is that the New Deal wasn't a rescue. It was a reset. We'll keep wearing the shackles that we swore that we would never wear again.
Why do you think they're covering the sun? We're about to activate. We've already activated. And I love this comment so much. I wish I could pin it. We've already activated. Look what's going on. Look at what's going on. Think about how blatantly racist everyone is on the internet right now. Do you know why? It's because we're not complicit. We don't put our heads down anymore. I've been seeing so many videos of us literally physically fighting back when we've been confronted with violence. This is a new timeline. It's only been literally like maybe 60 years, 65 years since the civil rights movement. White people used to beat they used to whip our ass. They used to hang us from trees like strange fruit. They were still eating us in the 60s. We don't talk about this. Literally, we experienced the most heinous things after the so-called slavery was abolished in the 1900s in this country. They stole our lands. They flooded us out. They burned and bombed everything. But now we're waking up. Even though they try to co-opt woke, they fucking steal and colonize everything we come up with. But we're all waking up and we're collectively getting on one band, one sound, and everybody's losing their shit. That's why they're coming out the woodworks like saying, oh, and of course, you know, the president makes them feel like they don't have to hide anymore. But the fact that we have a voice to say something back, this is why I can't do it on here. But on my YouTube channel, I say the most vile stuff to these people. When they talk to me crazy, I go for the jugular because we are activated. And this is, I feel like right now we're kind of like in phase 1 of finding a voice, identifying ourselves as who we are. We're not centering any other ethnicities. We're not centering anyone else. And that's why other people losing their shit over that, because they're so used to being centered. We've never centered ourselves as Black Americans. We've always been super inclusive while being disrespected, disregarded, abused. We're like the kid that was constantly bullied and now we're fighting back because we have been activated. And it is so fucking beautiful to see. What a time to be alive. I am extremely grateful to be alive to witness this. We are all living our ancestors' wildest dreams. To have autonomy, all of the things that they fought for, all of the things that they withstood, all of the strife, a lot of them did not survive. We are the ones that survived. It just makes me feel I feel like I want to cry. Like, words can't describe. Like, we are the ones that survived. Do you know how fucking powerful that is? And this is phase one. And I'm saying this is phase one because we're starting to have the conversations. We're starting to fucking put our foot down. We're starting to embrace who we are fully. This is some new ass shit. This is some new age ass shit, and everybody's losing their fucking minds. I am so proud. I truly am. Phase two, I know I have an idea of what phase two is going to be, but I'm not about to say it on here. But we're going to start to gather in the physical and start working on phase two. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. We're activated. I'm so happy.
Black Americans, I feel like you guys literally not only need awakening, you need it more and more and more. Because I know that there is a lot of awakening already in the Black community. And a lot of people are now asking different questions. What will 2026 offer? What will be what Black Americans will now be holding up to? A lot of white folks are surprised. I can tell you that for a whole fact. But anyways, before we go into details, to tell you guys some of the things that literally caused this Black Americans awakening, we'll start by this, which is the awakening among Black Americans is an undergoing process driven by a combination of historical context and recent catalyst events, amplifying awareness of persistent systemic racism and inequality. High-profile incident of racial injustice. A series of wide publicized killing of unarmed Blacks individuals by police officers and vigilantes, such as Taylor, I don't want to even mention names, okay? Let's just continue, had served a significant trigger for a public outrage and increased awareness. This event brought the reality of racial profiling and police brutality into mainstream consciousness in a way not seen during the civil rights era. The power of social media and technology. For those of you saying, why are you doing Black American content? Go and focus in Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot of problems. Listen. Digital platform has been instrumental in amplifying Black voices, organizing protests, and sharing authentic stories of racial discrimination in real time. On a global scale, social movements like Black Lives Matters, which is originated as social media hashtags, leverage those tools to mobilize millions and challenge mixed information bypassing traditional media gatekeepers. We have, which one again? The persistent systemic inequality. The awakening is rooted in the recognition of long-standing systemic issue that creates disparity in wealth, healthcare, education, and the criminal injustice system. The COVID-19 pandemic further exposed and elaborates these inequalities disproportionately affecting Black community and highlighting undergoing vulnerability. We have the what? The generational shifts and legacy. A new generation of Black Americans often motivated by their social identity and a sense of legacy from past movements, is demanding change. Exposure to Black history beyond simple content similarities inspired them to change current system and advocate for a more equitable future. We have the last one, which is focus on cultural reclamation and economic empower, which is my best. This movement is also characterized by a renewed emphasis on Black pride, cultural identity, and a driven towards economic self-sufficiency and entrepreneurship. Initiatives like supporting Black-owned business are a key strategies in combating economic disparity and building generational wealth. In essence, the current awakening is a multi-faced response to ongoing experience of racism and a renewed commitment to achieve systemic change through both social action and cultural empowerment. Then tell me, in a real sense, why Black Americans should not undergo awakening. In fact, I want the awakening to be more. Yes, I want it to be more. I want Black Americans to even be more conscious. You see, that is why when I see people coming to my comment section, like I said in some part of this video, saying, oh, you have a problem in your country, focus on your country, do this in your country, you will not understand. The only way you will understand is when you have a Black American mom and dad. And the second way you will understand is when you start going into deep research about Black Americans' history and knowing what they've been able to suffer, knowing fully well that some part of Africa, we're also the one that contributed greatly to whatsoever Black Americans are going through today. I said, no, I'm going to be dropping my own 2 cents in every aspect until reparation is being given. If you want me to stop, give them reparation. If you want me to stop racism. If you want me to stop, focus on your life and let Black people, Black Americans, do their thing. But anyways, let me know what you think about this video. It belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And if you haven't subscribed, like this video, drop in your comments. And lastly, do not forget to share. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying that, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys, I love you guys.